Alright guys, welcome back to another video of Marvel Cosmic Invasion. Today we're gonna do the most fun part, I think, in almost any game, specifically when it comes to like a beat 'em up or a game with a lot of characters. This is gonna be my speculation video for the last 4 characters, okay? Now, before we start, this is not a wish list. This is not the characters I want to see in the game. This is just gonna be the ones that I feel like are most likely to appear, you know, like basically based on what the developers have said and some of the choices that they've made. That's what the characters here are going to be. These are characters I feel like are most likely. Maybe I'm going to do later a video where we talk about my wish list, the characters I want to see the most, not even going off like realistic, just the characters I want to see the most. But this video is going to be about speculation. So right now we have 11 characters in the game, but the developers said that when the game is going to come out, there's gonna be 15. Now, there is a good chance they're gonna actually show them the last 4 characters like before launch. There's also a chance they're just gonna like launch the game like that with us only knowing 11, and we're gonna find the last 4 ourselves. So yeah, both of these things could happen. We don't know what could actually happen, but that's why we're here, right? We're gonna talk about it. So first of all, I want to state the fact that we have some information regarding the developers and kind of the way they choose the characters. We've seen a lot of interviews and a lot of places where they were talking about stuff, and they were kind of talking about the way they go around adding characters to the game, so we can kind of have a little bit of their mindset and kind of knowing where maybe what they could think of, and that way we're gonna hopefully make a good speculation. So first of all, the fact that they've chosen the characters they've chosen, alright, now the first characters they showed on the announcement trailer are pretty basic characters that I think all of us are, you know, kind of expected, right? I mean, like you have Spider-Man and Captain America and Wolverine, Venom, which kind of interesting but makes sense, Storm, you know, whatever. The characters were that kind of weird there were Quasar and Nova. Now, the reason they kind of make sense because this game is called Marvel Cosmic Invasion, so there's gonna be a lot of cosmic characters. So Nova and Quasar, I think, are like big cosmic characters. Also, they're like big in the actual Annihilation storyline, so it kind of makes sense for them to be there. But what interests me is what happens after that. So after they released that, when they started showing us other characters, so like when they showed off She-Hulk and Rocket Raccoon, and then Beta Ray Bill and Silver Surfer, they let us know that they are not picking the most popular, right? Having She-Hulk instead of Hulk, and like Rocket kind of works in a Guardians kind of scenario, but like Beta Ray Bill instead of Thor, like they are 100% not going for popularity, if that's what people thought. And that's kind of what I felt when I saw the first video. So we do have some interesting ideas now because of that. So what we know is that because of what I just said and because of what the dev says, they do not want just the popular characters. They don't want these to be like the MCU. They don't want just to have the most popular. They wanted to like introduce us to new characters and have the most diverse cast. That's what they want. They even said they want every Marvel family to be represented. So they want every character from every Marvel corner to be somehow represented, like every corner. They also said that they want every character to have a unique gameplay mechanic, so not just having, you know, like cool characters, but they kind of play the same. They want characters to be unique. So with that in mind, let's start thinking about which characters could be. So if we go and try to look for the actual families we have in the Marvel families, in the Marvel universe, we can pinpoint some stuff and kind of see where things might go. So in terms of family, we have the Avengers, we have Guardians of the Galaxy, we have the Spider-Man characters, Fantastic Four, street level characters, cosmic characters, X-Men, Inhumans, mystical kind of magic characters, which I put that there because I didn't know what else to call characters like Doctor Strange. Now, in my opinion, the most likely, if we look at all of these families, the 2 big ones I feel like that were not yet been filled are the Fantastic Four and the street level. Right? I think these are 2 guaranteed characters we're gonna have if they want to actually represent all the families in the Marvel Universe. We still haven't gotten any street level and any Fantastic Four. You could say like Silver Surfer, but he's not actually like a main, like core member of the Fantastic Four, so I don't include him. What I think is that they are gonna have someone from the main Fantastic Four. Now, which one is gonna be, right? We have 4 characters. He's gonna be Reed Richards, Sue Storm, Johnny Storm, and The Thing. These are the the Fantastic Four. So which one of them are you thinking going to be? I personally think Reed Richards is probably the most likely because of the fact that he's the most unique in terms of gameplay. Think about that. So like Sue Storm could be interesting, but I don't know how they're going to do that. Johnny Storm, I feel like it's just going to be, very similar to Nova and very similar to maybe Iron Man if they're going to pick it. So we're going to go over that later. And the thing is kind of like She-Hulk or like a big hulking character. So I think Reed Richards is like interesting and unique, to have a stretchy power. We don't have anything like that in the game yet. I think it's gonna be cool. Next up is going to be the street level rep. So don't have anyone street level character, right? Anything that's like the Spider-Man kind of does that, but we don't have like actual one, like full main one. The most obvious answer would be Daredevil or the Punisher, but I feel like Daredevil would be weird to put into gameplay. Like I don't think of an interesting way to make it into gameplay. So I feel like Moon Knight actually is a bit more of an interesting option. They could do really cool stuff with Moon Knight. So I think Moon Knight could be an interesting idea, or the Punisher. Punisher is kind of more basic run and gun type of character, but we do kind of have Rocket already, so I don't know how that's gonna work. Now I do think actually having Daredevil in the game would be really cool if we combine it with She-Hulk, because they're both like attorneys, so it's gonna be kind of cool to have a double team of Daredevil and She-Hulk. I think that's good. That's gonna be cool. So they might think of that as well. And when it comes to the last character that I want to have, I forgot about another one. Yeah, the Guardians. I 100% think there's gonna be another Guardian. I know that we technically already have a Guardian character, but I 100% think there's gonna be more than just Rocket. My opinion, which character would be the most interesting? I think it's down to Star-Lord or Groot. Now I think Groot is very high likely because of the fact that we have two characters, and I think Rocket and Groot together would be just perfect. Absolutely perfect to have them together. But yeah, the last one I really didn't know. I didn't know which one to think, whether or not to have someone like magical, like Doctor Strange, or like one of the Inhumans. The Cosmic, I think we have. Spider-Man, I think we have. The only thing that kind of seemed left out for me is actually the Avengers, because we don't have like two characters from the Avengers. I don't consider She-Hulk to be an Avenger. Maybe some people do. I don't think so. The only actual Avenger character we have is Captain America. We don't have any other Avenger character. Now the one character I feel like would obviously make sense to be there would be Iron Man. Obviously, just in terms of popularity. Now I know I said in the beginning that they don't care about popularity. They put Better Ray Bill instead of Thor and She-Hulk instead of Hulk, but I feel like Iron Man is too popular. It's like a juggernaut of popularity. It's kind of like Spider-Man. Think about it. So I think Iron Man has a good potential. The only issue with Iron Man, I think, is gameplay is very similar to Nova. If you've seen Nova on the screen, I think he's like literally going to be played just like him. He has projectiles, he has like fly. I think he's not going to be all that much interesting in terms of gameplay. But yeah, I think that's basically it, guys. That is it for my speculation for the last 4 characters in Marvel Cosmic Invasion. I think if I just gonna have to put it down there, it's going to be Reed Richards as Fantastic Four rep, Groot as a Guardian character, Street character is going to be Moon Knight, and an Avenger is going to be Iron Man. So these are mine. You can switch out Guardians like, Star-Lord, and you can switch out like Moon Knight to Daredevil, and an Avenger. Yeah, you can switch out. You can put like an Inhuman here if you want. Like those are the characters I personally think. I know people really want Gambit or Cyclops, but I don't think we're gonna have more X-Men when we don't have any more Avengers and Guardians. I don't think that makes sense. We have 2 X-Men already, Wolverine and Storm. I think they're like the big popular ones, so having another X-Men I don't think would work. But yeah, these are 4 characters. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Tell me guys in the comments, drop your speculation, drop your ideas, and we're gonna have some fun with it. Don't worry, later in a later date we're gonna talk about my wish list for characters I would like to see most. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you guys in the next video.